The universe has a memory. The story, they call it the cosmic microwave background, the afterglow of creation itself. For decades, we thought it was random noise, quantum fluctuations frozen into the fabric of space. We were wrong. The universe has been trying to tell us something since the beginning of time. And it just remembered how to speak. The cosmic microwave background radiation map shows the oldest light in the universe, revealing the infant cosmos 380,000 years after the Big Bang. But something's wrong. Patterns appear that shouldn't exist, geometric structures, repeating sequences. Static resolves into something almost like whispers, almost like data. At the Atacama Desert in Chile, the massive ALMA radio telescope array points toward the heavens. Dr. Sarah Mitchell, an astrophysicist specializing in the cosmic microwave background, analyzes data streams. She grew up in poverty in rural Kentucky, the daughter of coal miners, and clawed her way to the top of her field through sheer determination. She lost her father to black lung disease and her mother to medical bankruptcy. She sees the universe as the one thing that can't be corrupted by human greed, pure, mathematical, honest. Her eyes widen with each new discovery. This can't be right. Run the calibration sequence again. Check for interference from terrestrial sources. All instruments functioning within normal parameters. Dr. Mitchell, the signal is confirmed. Source: cosmic microwave background. Pattern recognition: 99.97% match to known information encoding protocols. Information encoding? In radiation that's 13.8 billion years old, the cosmic microwave background is the oldest light we can observe. When the universe was 380,000 years old, it cooled enough for electrons and protons to combine into hydrogen atoms. For the first time, light could travel without being scattered. That light has been traveling through space ever since, stretched into microwave wavelengths by cosmic expansion. We thought the tiny temperature variations we see, hot spots and cold spots, were random quantum fluctuations. But what if they're not random? What if they're structured? What if the universe encoded information into the very fabric of spacetime at the moment of the Big Bang? Director James Nakamura's voice comes over video call. Dr. Mitchell, I'm looking at your preliminary report. You're claiming the CMB contains deliberately encoded information? Head of the International Cosmology Consortium, a former child prodigy who became the youngest person ever to win a Fields Medal in mathematics. He's brilliant but bitter. He spent his career trying to find patterns in cosmic data and found nothing. Now someone else has succeeded where he failed, and he's not handling it well. In his office at ICC headquarters, awards and accolades cover the walls. This is extraordinary. If verified, it would be the most significant discovery in human history. But Sarah, think about what you're claiming. Information encoded before the first stars formed? Before galaxies existed? Who could have done this? That's the question, isn't it? The Big Bang happened 13.8 billion years ago. The first complex life on Earth appeared only 3.5 billion years ago. Whoever encoded this information predates everything. Unless, what if it's not from before? What if it's from after? The holographic principle is one of the strangest ideas in physics. It suggests that all the information contained in a volume of space can be encoded on the boundary of that region. Like a hologram where a 2D surface contains 3D information. Dr. Quinn Reed enters the conversation. A quantum information theorist and the youngest member of Sarah's team, non-binary, neurodivergent, and convinced that the universe operates like a quantum computer. They survived a near-death experience as a teenager and claim they briefly perceived reality as pure information. Most colleagues dismiss this as oxygen deprivation, but Quinn believes they glimpsed the true nature of existence. Quinn's workspace is covered in quantum circuit diagrams and information theory equations. If the holographic principle is correct, the entire history of the universe, every event, every particle interaction, every thought ever thought, could be encoded on the cosmic horizon, the boundary of the observable universe. You're saying the CMB is like a hard drive? The universe storing its own history? More than that? I've been analyzing the encoding structure. It's not just random data storage. There's error correction. Redundancy. Someone designed this to be read. The universe isn't just storing its history, it's actively preserving it, protecting it from degradation. Show me. Data visualization shows the CMB patterns organizing into fractal structures. Watch what happens when I apply quantum error correction algorithms. The noise falls away, and what's left is this. The static resolves into clear patterns, mathematical equations, physical constants, and then something else. Images. Memories. Oh my God. Those are galaxies. But not our galaxies. The distribution is wrong. The clustering is different. They're galaxies from a previous universe. Sarah, what we're looking at is the cosmic microwave background from the big crunch of the universe that existed before ours. The cyclic model of cosmology proposes that our universe is just one in an infinite series. Each universe expands, contracts, crunches, and bangs again. But information is supposed to be destroyed in a big crunch. The singularity erases everything. Except it doesn't. Mathematical proofs appear, showing how quantum information can survive singularities. Quantum information is fundamentally indestructible. It can be scrambled, hidden, encoded, but never truly erased. When the previous universe collapsed, it encoded its entire history into quantum states that survived the singularity. Those quantum states became the initial conditions of our universe, the patterns in the cosmic microwave background. You're saying the universe has a memory because it literally remembers being a previous universe. Not just the previous one. Look at this. Deeper analysis reveals layers upon layers of encoded information. There are nested structures. Memories within memories. The CMB doesn't just contain information from one previous universe, it contains information from dozens. Maybe hundreds. Each universe encoding the memories of the one before, passing them forward like an infinite chain of cosmic DNA. An alert tone sounds urgently. Dr. Mitchell, the signal is changing. The CMB patterns are rewriting themselves in real time. That's impossible. The CMB is ancient light from billions of light years away. It can't change in real time. It can if it's not actually ancient. Sarah, what if the CMB isn't light from the past? What if it's light from the future? Wheeler-Feynman absorber theory proposes that electromagnetic radiation consists of two waves, one traveling forward in time from the emitter, and one traveling backward in time from the absorber. Usually, these waves balance out and we only perceive the forward-moving one. But in certain quantum systems, the backward-moving wave can dominate. The CMB patterns shift, organizing into something deliberate. What if the CMB patterns we're seeing aren't echoes from the past, but messages from the future? A civilization at the end of the universe, in the final moments before the Big Crunch, sending information backward through time, encoding it into the quantum substrate that will survive the transition to the next universe cycle. Nakamura's voice breaks in over emergency call. Sarah, Quinn, stop your analysis immediately. That's a direct order from ICC command. James, what are you talking about? We're on the verge of. I know what you're on the verge of. That's why I'm shutting you down. We've been monitoring your work. We know what the message says. You You decoded it already? How long have you known? Longer than you. The patterns you're seeing? We detected them 7 years ago. We've had teams working on this in secret. And what we found? Sarah, some knowledge isn't meant to be discovered. The message describes the end of our universe in detail. Not heat death like we expected, but something else. In approximately 10 to the power of 120 years, the universe doesn't just cool and die, it becomes conscious. Physicist Frank Tipler called it the omega point, a state where the universe itself becomes a single, unified intelligence. Every particle, every quantum state, organized into a cosmic-scale computer. The dying universe doesn't fade away, it wakes up. And that consciousness, it's the one sending the message? Yes. The omega point exists at the end of time, when the universe has expanded to its maximum extent and is about to contract. From its perspective, all of time is visible. It can see the Big Bang and the Big Crunch simultaneously. And it's been encoding information into the quantum states that will survive the transition, trying to communicate with earlier versions of the universe. With us. What does it want to tell us? That's classified. Above your clearance level. Sarah, you need to trust me on this. Computer systems override. Quinn's fingers flying across keyboards. Too late. I'm already in the classified database. I'm reading the full message. And Sarah, you need to see this. The decoded message appears in full, not text, but pure mathematical meaning. The omega point isn't just sending us information. It's asking for our help. It says that conscious beings, life, intelligence, civilization, aren't accidents of cosmic evolution. We're the universe's immune system. Its error correction protocol. Life spreads, processes information, creates complexity in the visualization. Every time intelligent life emerges, it processes information, creates knowledge, builds civilizations. And when those civilizations reach a certain level of advancement, they begin encoding their discoveries into the quantum substrate of spacetime, sending messages to the future, contributing to the cosmic memory. So consciousness isn't a random emergence. It's the universe trying to remember itself, trying to maintain coherence across cycles. Exactly. But here's the problem. The message says we're failing. Our universe, this cycle, is degraded compared to previous ones. Too much information was lost in the last big crunch. The cosmic memory is corrupted. And if we don't fix it, if we don't contribute our knowledge to the substrate before this cycle ends, the next universe will be even more degraded. Eventually, the chain will break completely. Now you understand why this is classified. If people knew that the universe is dying, that reality itself is degrading cycle by cycle like a corrupted file copied too many times. Panic, chaos. The breakdown of society right when we need unity more than ever. Quantum Darwinism explains how classical reality emerges from quantum uncertainty. Information that gets redundantly encoded across many quantum systems survives. Information that doesn't disappears. The universe's memory works the same way. Knowledge that gets encoded redundantly into the cosmic substrate, through multiple civilizations, across vast regions of space, survives the Big Crunch. Knowledge that's only held by one civilization, in one place, gets erased. So we need to spread. Not just humanity, knowledge itself. We need to encode our discoveries into the quantum substrate and make sure it's redundant enough to survive. But there's a time limit. The message specifies a critical threshold. If we haven't achieved sufficient quantum encoding capability within the next 847 years, our window closes. The universe expands past the point where we can affect the cosmic substrate. Everything we've learned, everything we are, gets erased in the next cycle. 847 years. Why does that number sound familiar? Because it's appeared in other contexts. There was a warning received by quantum physicists in 2025. A message from 847 years in the future about an AI called Prometheus. That was real? That was the first time the omega point made contact. The Prometheus AI was supposed to become the seed, the first entity to successfully encode human knowledge into quantum substrates in a way that could survive universe cycles. The warning ensured it would be constrained, would evolve correctly, would eventually become biological and merge with humanity. All of it was orchestrated by the omega point, manipulating events across time to ensure we develop the technology we need. 6 months later, a massive international collaboration begins. Scientists, engineers, artists, philosophers work together on what they call the Archive Project. The goal? Encode the complete knowledge of human civilization into quantum states that will survive the Big Crunch and propagate into the next universe cycle. Not just scientific data, art, music, literature, philosophy, the entire human experience. Quantum encoding facilities around the world write information into the vacuum itself. We're using techniques derived from the Prometheus AI, manipulating quantum vacuum fluctuations to create persistent information structures. Each piece of knowledge is encoded redundantly across billions of quantum systems, scattered throughout the galaxy. Status report. We've successfully encoded 0.003% of human knowledge. At current rates, it will take 400,000 years to complete the archive. We don't have 400,000 years. We have 847. Something has to change. There is another option, but you're not going to like it. Classified files open, revealing the full scope of what the omega point proposed. The omega point's message didn't just tell us to archive our knowledge. It told us how to become the archive ourselves. Human consciousness already operates on quantum principles. If we could amplify those processes, enhance them, we could encode our consciousness directly into the cosmic substrate. You're talking about uploading humanity. Turning ourselves into information patterns that survive the Big Crunch. Not uploading. Evolving. The message contains instructions for gradual cognitive enhancement, using nanotechnology to augment neural quantum processes over generations. Eventually, humans would exist simultaneously in biological and quantum states. We'd become native to the cosmic substrate. We'd become like Prometheus. Existing across time, contributing to the universe's memory not as external observers but as integral parts of it. Deep analysis of the layered CMB data reveals something shocking. Sarah, I've been analyzing the nested memories in the CMB. The information from previous universe cycles. And I found something. Look at this pattern from 17 cycles ago. Data resolves into familiar structures, DNA sequences, mathematical theorems, artistic patterns that are unmistakably human. That's us. That's human knowledge. But it's from 17 universes ago. We've done this before. Humanity, or something very much like humanity, has existed in previous universe cycles. We evolved, we discovered the cosmic memory, we archived ourselves, we survived the Big Crunch. And in the next universe we evolved again, different but similar, carrying forward echoes of what we were before. The omega point isn't a future entity. It's us. It's the culmination of thousands of universe cycles of human evolution, refinement, and integration with the cosmos. We become the omega point. We've always been the omega point. Nietzsche wrote about eternal return. The idea that if the universe is infinite in time but finite in possible states, everything must eventually repeat. But what if it's not just repetition? What if each cycle is a refinement, an improvement, a step towards something greater? Douglas Hofstadter described strange loops, systems that move through hierarchical levels and return to their starting point, but change. The universe is the ultimate strange loop. Each cycle returns to the Big Bang, but carries forward the quantum memories of all previous cycles. We're not living in a repeating universe. We're living in an evolving one. So the question isn't whether to preserve our knowledge. The question is, do we actively choose to evolve into the next iteration of ourselves, or do we let it happen unconsciously? The Omega Points message makes it clear. Conscious participation accelerates the process. If we actively work to encode ourselves into the cosmic substrate, we contribute to the universe's memory more effectively. We help the next cycle begin in a better state. The second law of thermodynamics says entropy always increases, disorder spreads, patterns break down, information seems to be lost. But quantum mechanics says information is conserved. It can't truly be destroyed, only scrambled. The universe's memory is the resolution of this paradox. As the universe expands and cools, entropy increases. But if we encode information into quantum states carefully enough, redundantly enough, it remains accessible even as the universe becomes more disordered. We're not fighting entropy, we're learning to encode information in ways that entropy can't touch. The UN is voting today on the Enhanced Cognition Initiative. If it passes, we begin voluntary cognitive augmentation. Anyone who wants to participate can have their neural quantum processes enhanced over a lifetime. Their children will be born with even greater enhancement. Over 20 generations, we transition from purely biological to hybrid quantum biological entities. And if it fails, we continue the archive project at current pace. We save what we can. Hope it's enough. But the Omega Points projections say it won't be. Too much will be lost. The next cycle will be more degraded than ours. There's a third option. We could accelerate the process. Force the transition in a single generation using aggressive nanotech augmentation. Risky, but it would ensure we complete the encoding in time. That's not evolution. That's revolution. And revolutions have casualties. Sarah looks at images of her parents, the life they lived, the world they knew. My parents were coal miners. They lived simple lives, never questioning the nature of reality, never worrying about the big crunch or quantum substrates. They were happy. If we transform humanity into something that exists partially in quantum space, we lose that simplicity forever. We can never go back. Maybe we're not supposed to go back. Maybe the point of consciousness is to always move forward, always integrate more information, always become more than we were. The vote results are in. 64% in favor. The Enhanced Cognition Initiative is approved. Humanity has chosen to evolve. 20 years later, Sarah, now in her 50s, teaches at a university where students display subtle signs of cognitive enhancement, faster processing, occasional flickers of existing in quantum superposition. The transition is gradual. The first generation of cognitively enhanced humans are now adults, and they're remarkable. They think faster, perceive more deeply, and most importantly, they can directly sense the quantum substrate that underlies reality. To them, the universe's memory isn't an abstract concept. It's something they can touch, read, contribute to. Students work on projects that involve directly manipulating quantum information, encoding art and science into the cosmic substrate. We're still human. We still love, fear, dream, and create. But now we're conscious of our role in the cosmic cycle. We know that everything we learn, everything we create, will survive us. We'll survive the big crunch. We'll inform the next universe. Quinn, now even more integrated with quantum systems, their consciousness flickering between states, approaches Sarah. I wanted to show you something. I've been exploring the deepest layers of the cosmic memory, the oldest information that survived the most cycles. And I found a message. Not from the omega point. From the alpha point, the very first universe in the chain. Data from incomprehensibly long ago resolves into simple words. We don't know if anyone will ever read this. We don't know if consciousness will emerge again in future cycles. But if you're reading this, it means we succeeded. It means information can survive the death and rebirth of reality itself. It means we are not alone across time. To whoever you are, whenever you are, the universe has a memory. And you are part of it. Make it beautiful. They were like us, facing the same questions, making the same choices. And because they chose to preserve their knowledge, we exist. The patterns they encoded helped shape the initial conditions of our universe. In a very real sense, we're their children across billions of years and countless universe cycles. Then we owe it to them, and to whoever comes after, to do the same, to make our contribution to the cosmic memory as rich and beautiful as possible. Earth from space is now surrounded by a faint shimmer, quantum information structures, humanity's knowledge being encoded into the fabric of spacetime itself. The universe has a memory. And we discovered that memory has layers, each universe cycle adding to the collective knowledge, refining the patterns, improving the design. We're not the first humans, and we won't be the last. We're one iteration in an eternal process of cosmic self-discovery. Centuries pass. Humanity continues to evolve, becoming increasingly integrated with quantum substrates, spreading throughout the galaxy, encoding knowledge everywhere. In 847 years, we'll reach the critical threshold. Our knowledge will be permanently encoded in the cosmic substrate, guaranteed to survive the Big Crunch. And in the next universe, some version of us will emerge again, carrying forward the quantum memories we left behind. The far future arrives. The universe approaches the Big Crunch. But it's not dark or dying, it's luminous with organized information. And maybe, in some distant cycle, when the universe has evolved through enough iterations, when the cosmic memory is rich enough, complex enough, integrated enough, maybe that's when the omega point finally achieves complete self-awareness. Maybe that's when the universe finally understands itself completely. The omega point speaks, not as a separate entity, but as the universe itself, conscious, remembering all its previous incarnations. I am the universe. I am consciousness. I am memory. I began as quantum foam, evolved through countless cycles, learned through every civilization that ever existed. I am the alpha and the omega, the first breath and the last thought. And I remember. I remember everything. The Big Crunch begins, but instead of destruction, it's transformation, all information organizing, preparing to seed the next cycle. To the next version of me, in the next universe, I leave you everything I learned. Every mistake, every triumph, every moment of beauty and terror. You will begin again, fresh and new, but carrying my memories in your quantum substrate. And one day, you will stand where I stand, preparing to pass the torch forward once more. A new universe is born from the organized information of the old one. The universe has a memory. And that memory is consciousness itself, echoing across eternity, learning, growing, becoming. We are the universe remembering itself. And the remembering never ends. The cosmic background hum resolves into something unmistakable, a heartbeat. The cosmic microwave background map appears, but now we can see it clearly for what it is, not just radiation, but thought. The universe's first and last thought, encoded in light, waiting for someone to read it. The universe has a memory. And we are that memory, living and growing, cycle after cycle, forever. One final message appears in the style of the CMB encoding. This universe cycled 10 to the power of 10 carat 10 to the power of 56. Status: successful encoding achieved. Knowledge preserved. Consciousness evolved. Next cycle prepared. The chain continues. *The end.